Hi everyone, I'm Valen and I've been an au pair in the United States for the last 19 months, and I'm sharing here all my experience with you to show you the reality of being an au pair. And today I'm gonna share with you all my experience about my rematch situation that I passed on December of 2023. So let's get it. So I think that I need to start with my experience that when I came to the States, and that was August 2022, and I came here to take care of three amazing kids that until the day of today they're the love of my life. And I'm really happy to have that experience with that family. I stayed with them for more than a year, but I wasn't ready to stay with them for longer, and I realized that really late on my experience. I realized it after I extended with them. I realized that I couldn't leave first because I was just so happy to be with them. I love the family, I love the kids, I love my friends in there. I had my life test already in the United States, so I was really excited to be here. But something in me when I was working, it was telling me that I wasn't happy. My workload was so hard for me that I just wasn't happy anymore with them. So after Thanksgiving of 2023, I decided to tell them that I was not gonna stay with them anymore, that I needed to go out there and find another experience to get out of my comfort zone again. And they understood that situation really good, so that's a really good point. For my host family, they understood that I needed to have a different experience, that I needed to grow up a little more. And besides they were really sad, they understood and supported me on my decision, and they helped me to keep going with the program in a really smooth way. So I'm really grateful for that. And I would like to talk to you a little bit about why sometimes it could be hard about leaving your host family that you're with. And this could be either because you have really good friends, or you have an amazing relationship with the parents but your workload is a little hard, or it's just not what you're expecting. It could be because you have already a lifestyle that you like, maybe your activities, your group of friends that you already have like plans like every weekend or things like that, or trips planned. And in my case, I started thinking on Rematch really early on, but I just couldn't get it to talk to them until after Thanksgiving 2023, when I was like, if I stay here, I'm gonna have a bad experience with them. I'm gonna finish in a really annoying situation. I'm gonna finish in a really frustrated lifestyle, and I don't want that. I want this to keep as an amazing experience and how it was with me, and I feel like I'm ready to leave. So I did that. I talked to them after 1 week of thinking with myself and not sharing this information with anyone, to think if I really wanted to leave or if I was just maybe too stressed or something like that. And it wasn't easy for me to decide that I wanted to leave, just because it was like all these moments where I was like, what happened if something is not good on the other family? What happened if the kids are not what I was expecting? What happened if? And things like that were in my mind a lot. And I'm not gonna lie, going through a rematch is really stressful, but it can have a good outcome. So if you're thinking on it, please take it with yourself, because sometimes we can let other people lead our thoughts, and that happened to me a lot. All the other times that I think that I wanted to go to Rematch, I will share it with friends, and they will be like, oh no, it's gonna be fine, you stay here, we have you, like we have your back, we'll support you. But that wasn't really what I wanted. So this last time I decided that I was just gonna take this decision by myself. So I did. After a week, I called a meeting with them. I made a letter because I thought that was like the best opportunity for me to put my thoughts in order. And sometimes it's easy for me to get out of my space and be confusing, especially in another language that is not my own. So I made a letter for them, and I called a meeting after the kids were sleeping one night, and I sit down with them and start reading my letter with a lot of thankful words at the beginning, but then being realistic of what I wanted. And they understood. they of course were really disappointing that I was leaving, but something that I've learned here, that sometimes disappointing is not a bad word, like on a bad meaning, as it could be in Spanish. It's just like they're kind of sad and also really not expecting that outcome. So they were disappointing in a really sad way. They were really shocked about it as well, but they understood my situation. They understood what I wanted to leave, and as they couldn't offer a change of what my workload was, I just decided that it was better for both sides to leave, so I could find a different family. So I did have a first like week after I told them the notice to like organize, like things, what I wanted to look for, what they wanted to look for before we talk to the family, because as we know, the Rematch process, at least with Cultural Care, which is the company I'm with, is a 2 weeks process. So this could be really intense and stressful to look for the perfect family for you in 2 weeks. So we gave each other a whole week before we talked to the company to put our thoughts in order and see what we're looking for. And of course they were expecting me to regret or maybe be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna stay with you. So they were asking me constantly if I was sure that I wanted to go to a Rematch, but never as a pressure on me of like, please stay. It was more like, are you sure you want to make this decision? Are you sure that you want to leave because you have all your friends, your activities? Like, they were always so supporting with me, so I don't feel like they were trying to stay as just for their easy life. They were really trying to support me and help me on this, so I'm so thankful for the family that I had in Nashville, that they are my second family and that's my second home, and I will always be grateful and I will always come back to them. So yeah, after a week we talked to the company and we shared this information to them, and I could say that Cultural Care has helped both sides so good. And I know that sometimes there's people who say that their experience has been different, but this is my experience again, and I can just share my experience with you. I did not have any problem with Cultural Care at the time that I say I wanted to go to Rematch, so that's something that it take a lot of load out of my back, because I was scared that they would not be really helpful, or they wouldn't be there for me, or they wouldn't be support as other people can say sometimes. But in my experience, I had a really good experience on my Cultural Care, like supporting people. So I'm really happy for that. So after we talked to the company, they had meetings with me, meeting with my host family to make this like little PDF that they put on the au pair's profile once that they get online again after Rematch. So they made like all this information about me, why I wanted to go to Rematch, what was my vacation situation, like if I had take some vacations or no, if I had take some classes or not for my credits. So all that information is really important once that you're starting looking for a second family, because this is not something that you're like gonna have extra just because you change family. If you already took credit or vacation in the time that you're gonna go to Rematch, that's gonna be discounted when you go to a second family. It's not like gonna start over on zero. So if you already took 2 weeks of vacation of the current year you are, when you change family, does not mean that you're gonna have 2 more weeks. You're just not gonna have any because you already took your 2 weeks of vacations in the year. So just making that clear. A little information, I think that's a technical information that sometimes our pairs don't know. So we had all this, and after I had all these meetings with the supporting people in Cultural Care, I had my profile line. And I think that because I was just IQ, which is infant qualified, which means that I have more than 200 hours taking care of babies by myself, kids under 2. So I think that was a really big impact on my profile, and because I had so many good recommendations, especially from my host mom in Nashville, I had so many connections getting to me every single day. I would have my profile maxed out on people who wanted to talk to me, and this is where my really filter needed to come on and be like, okay, I don't like this family, it's not what I'm looking for, I'm just gonna reject them. Either without making an interview, which is not as as a recommendation from the company, but is what you need to do in this process. You have 2 weeks to find the perfect family for you. So I feel like you need to be sharp on what you're looking for at the time that you're starting your rematch situation, because you're gonna have a lot of profiles looking for you, and sometimes families are just not gonna be what you're looking for, so you just need to reject them without having an interview. And that's what I did. I would go into my profile many times during the day, see that I was maxed out, look the profile, see how many kids, how many hours, and all that information that is so important. And I would just reject the ones that it didn't fit on my filters and offer a meeting to the ones who could be a potential host family for me. It was a really stressful 2 weeks, really long time with not sleeping at all. It was not the best, I will say. It's not a funny moment, but it can have a good outcome after a really hard 2 weeks of meetings, of talking to people, of looking at profiles, and just trying to get the best decision ever. I've finally matched with my current host family here in Washington DC. Kind of like to live here in DC, but it definitely has not been an easy adaptation for me. That's something that I didn't happen to me in Nashville. I'll share with you the best 5 tips that were so good for me at the time that I need to find a rematch. We like the host family, we like where we're staying, and that was my situation. And I just maybe needed a little help with some workload, or with some vacations or extra money, or whatever is your reasons to go to rematch. Talk to your host families. They might not want you to leave, so they might do something to help you. This wasn't my case, but talking is never a bad thing. Host families are pretty helpful and reasonable on these things that the au pairs are looking for. So please talk to them. Don't be afraid. Think as them as your older friends, don't be scared of talking to them. Please talk to them about these situations, and maybe you can just stay and have a better experience with them. Tip number 2 is, if you still want to go to rematch after talking to them, that's okay. That happens. Maybe they couldn't help you on what you were looking for, and that's totally okay. That was my situation too. So talk to your LCC to help you to present this news to your host family and to explain the reasons why in the best way possible. Again, we don't want to be aggressive. We don't want to fight with them. We want to be really thankful for the experience that we had. So please talk to your LCC. She should be able to help you on this process and put on the best word possible for your host family, or maybe be present in the meeting, so there's not any miscommunication or something. So please always talk to your LCC in these kind of moments, of whatever moment you're not having a great time. Please talk to her. That's her job, to be there to support you and help you to have the best experience ever. You really need to think of what you're looking for and what the filters will be for you. Like, for example, I was taking care of 3. Maybe you don't want to take care of 3 anymore. You want to take care of 2. So you're going to filter all that families without getting a meeting that have 3 kids, for example. So please get a really sharp filter on the reasons why you're leaving and on what you're looking on a new host family. This is really going to help to take your time wisely, and don't be so stressed talking to families who are not a good fit for you, okay? This should go with the au pairs who are also looking for a first match. Any question is a silly question. All the questions are important. All the questions should be asked as something important for you, because then if you don't ask enough questions, you have surprises. You didn't know what to expect on that area, and then you have a surprise, and you don't want to have that again, especially after going through a rematch. You want to be as clear as you can with the host families and the host families with you, so you need to make questions. And tip number 5 is start packing since the day you get to interview host family. Since the day you start being online, please start packing, start getting rid of things that you're not using, that you don't want to bring with you, things that maybe are not yours. Don't leave packing for the last day, because you're going to be so stressful about it, and it might look easy, it might look like you don't have a lot of stuff, but believe me, from someone who thought I didn't have a lot, it finished on I had a lot of things, and I was so stressful packing, and I was packing until the day I left, and I did not like that experience. So please start packing with time and get rid of things that you don't like, that you don't use, that maybe they're not yours, so you don't have to be so stressful at the last time. It's a really hard situation that you're going through, so please make it easier on you. It's all my experience plus tips on the rematch experience, and as I always say, this is my experience. Your experience can be different. Don't let my video put yourself on a kind of different way. Experience are always different because people is different, so please take it as something that could help you if you're in this process of thinking in Rematch or going through a Rematch. I would love this video to be helpful for you, but remember, this is my experience and yours can be different. So if you feel alone, if you feel like you might need a little help deciding if you want to go through Rematch or no, and you need someone to talk with, please contact me. I'm always here, and my goal with this channel is to help au pairs that are already in the country, or au pairs who wants to come to the country and they're just having a lot of doubts or questions, or they don't know if this is a good fit for them or no. So please contact me. Never bother me, so please contact me if you need to.